colors, blue, green, and bright feathers. Professor Hoot, a wise old owl with twilight-colored feathers, round glasses, and deep, calm eyes. Rosy the small gray elephant lay on the mountain top, her chest heaving with exhaustion. She had climbed out of the crystal cave, pushed through fear and doubt, and finally reached the summit. But as her breathing slowed and she opened her large brown eyes, what she saw took her breath away all over again. The view was absolutely breathtaking. The entire Whispering Woods spread out below her like a living painting. The great river wound through the jungle like a silver ribbon, catching the first hints of pre-dawn light. The baobab trees stood tall and proud, thick branches reaching towards sky. She could see the watering hole where she used to greet every morning. She could see the meadows where her friends played. She could see home. The sky was still dark, painted with deep purples and blues, but on the horizon, the faintest glow of gold was beginning to appear. Dawn was coming. "We made it." Flicker, the green chameleon, whispered in awe, his bulging eyes reflecting the beautiful view. He had turned a peaceful lavender color, his amazed and grateful shade. The rainbow toucan spread his wings. Her legs still trembled from the climb, but as she looked out over the world below, she felt something else trembling inside her chest, something warm and powerful, like a sunrise waiting to break free. Her rumble, it was right there, so close she could almost hear it. "You have traveled far, little one." Rosy spun around at the familiar voice. There, perched on a gnarled branch at the very peak of the summit, was Professor Hoot. The wise old owl's twilight-colored feathers ruffled gently in the mountain breeze. His round glasses glinted in the pre-dawn light, and his deep, calm eyes watched Rosy with warmth and pride. "Professor Hoot," Rosy gasped. "You are here." The owl flew down and landed on a rock beside her. "I have been here all along, dear child, watching, waiting. I knew you would make it. You. Rosy's short trunk curled with confusion. "But how? I did not even know if I could do it." Professor Hoot's eyes crinkled with a gentle smile. "Because I've seen many lost things in my long life, and I have learned something important. The things we think we have lost are often the things we simply stopped believing we deserved to have." He turned his head toward the horizon, where the golden glow was growing brighter. "You dove into fear when you entered that dark pool. You faced your shadow in the chasm. You made your choice in the heart of the cave. You climbed your mountain and your body wanted to quit. You have done everything the journey required." Rosy looked down at her small gray feet. "But I still cannot rumble. I have tried and tried, but nothing comes out." "That is because you're still asking the wrong question," Professor Hoot said gently. "What do you mean?" The owl turned his wise eyes to her. "Throughout this entire journey, you have been asking, where is my rumble? How do I find it? But Rosy, that was never the real question." Rosy's large floppy ears perked up, listening carefully. "The question was never where is your rumble," Professor Hoot continued. "The question is, will you let it out? Will you give yourself permission to be heard? Will you choose to take up space in this world with your voice, even knowing that some might laugh, some might judge, some might not understand?" The first ray of sunlight broke over the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant golds and pinks. "Your rumble is not lost, Rosy. It has been inside you this whole time, waiting for you to believe you deserve to share it." The journey was not about finding your rumble. It was about finding your courage, your worthiness, your permission to be yourself. Rosy felt tears well up in her brown eyes, but they were not sad tears. They were tears of understanding, of release, of finally getting it. I have been holding it in, she whispered, because I was afraid of being too much, afraid of being wrong, afraid of taking up space. And now, Professor Hoot asked softly. Rosy looked out over the whispering woods as the sun continued to rise, bathing everything in golden light. She thought of every step of her journey. She thought of Cascade, teaching her to listen to silence. She thought of Ember showing her the truth in the crystal. She thought of climbing that impossible shaft, realizing her voice was a gift, not a burden. She thought of the baby squirrels, the morning games, her friends, everyone who had missed her rumble and waited for it to return. And then she thought of herself, little Rosy, the small gray elephant with the bouncy, silly, joyful rumble that was not dignified or serious or proper, but was completely, perfectly, wonderfully hers. Now, Rosy said, her voice growing stronger, I understand. My rumble matters because it is mine, because I give it with love, because being myself, exactly as I am, is enough. Flicker climbed onto her head, glowing bright green with pride. Pip landed on her back, his rainbow feathers shimmering in the sunrise light. Professor Hoot nodded slowly. Then there is only one thing left to do, dear Rosy. The sun was fully rising now. Magnificent golden orb that painted the entire sky in breathtaking colors. The whispering woods below came alive with light. Birds began to sing, the river sparkled, the world was waking up. Professor Hoot spread his wings. The sun is rising, Rosy, and so must you. The question is not, where is your rumble anymore? The question is, will you let it out? The breeze ruffled her large, floppy ears. Her friends stood beside her, surrounding her with love and support. Inside her chest, she felt it, not just stirring now, but building, growing, swelling, like a sunrise that had been held back for too long and was finally ready to break free. Her rumble, her true voice, her gift to the world. It was right there, pressing against her heart, asking one simple question. Will you let me out? Rosy closed her large brown eyes. She thought of everyone she loved, every morning, every moment of joy her rumble had ever brought to the world. She took the deepest breath of her entire life, and she whispered to herself, to her rumble, to the universe, yes,